Well, mostly anyway. A lot more so than my previous team. Right, so, okay, I'm just going to begin because I'm kind of, yeah, I'm going to start like 30 seconds early. So hello everyone, welcome to the Rollout workshop for CP Gullywash. Last week was CP Badlands. I didn't put it on YouTube or anything because I wasn't completely happy with it. Probably going to be remaking that, but there is a VOD on my Twitch. But for this week, we're looking at CP Gullywash, and we're going to change the format up a little bit. Last time we looked at some demos of mine, and I slow-mode them, and all that sort of thing. And while I think it was helpful, it made the presentation quite stagnant. I felt I repeated myself a lot, and it didn't really allow me the flexibility I wanted. So today what we're going to do is I'm just going to sit on this server and do stuff and talk to you about it as I do it. Because I'm streaming, I'm a lot more like inconsistent with my jumps than when I'm not streaming, so you'll have to bear with me on that front. But yeah, we're going to talk about how to do the rollouts, when you should do what rollouts, and more importantly, what you can achieve by doing a particular rollout. CP Gullywash is a really interesting map to talk about right now because I've recently started doing a new rollout that I haven't seen anyone do before. For me, it's completely changed my experience of Gullywash mid because, yeah, you'll see why when I explain it. So, let's start off with the basics. In the existing game that people are familiar with, there's two main rollouts. There's one where you're going to main, and you're going pretty slow, walking to big door, and there's one where you go fast, like this way through choke. So first of all, I'm just going to show you these two. These are not optimized, these are not perfect, so don't worry too much about the specifics of how I do them. And also, actually, just before I go into this, I just want to say about a bit more on the format. In case you didn't tune in last week, what I do for the first half is I just sit here and give you a really dull lecture, and you just got to just kind of glaze over. I'll wait for it to be over. And then in the second half, I take questions from chat, and I look at demos that have been sent to me, and I kind of critique other people's rollouts. So if I'm not really looking at the chat for the moment like I normally do when I stream, so if you have anything you want to say to me or want me to read, then please just save it for the second half because I'm not monitoring chat at the moment because I've got to focus on what I'm doing. I'm just going to quickly check that my stream monkeys are ready to find questions for me just before I go. Sorry for the poor organization, but that's how you get. That's what you get with me. Okay, so you have the two basic rollouts. The first one is where you go to choke. You want to jump to the door. That's not an optimized jump. I should be closer to the thing, but yeah. You jump like this to choke. I'll look at this in more detail in a second, but I just want to give you the overview right now. That's the basic one. And then the big door one, there's a lot of like variation on this, but the most standard thing people do now is they just do one jump to main, and then they preserve HP and just walk the rest of the way to main. Okay, so those are the two jumps. This one, walking to main, I really don't like it, because ultimately, if someone does a good choke rollout, you're going to get wrecked by them. So we're not going to talk about this or how to do that jump, because it's simple, it's one jump. You're not working on speed to get here, you're only preserving HP, and your speed really doesn't matter. So we're just going to talk about choke. So, this first jump has a lot in common with the first jump of Badlands. It's all about sticky placement on the pole. With the Badlands jump, we talked about putting the sticky high to get the maximum jump to go downwards, and it's the same kind of jump if you want to go main. But we want to go top. So basically what you want here, you don't want it too low, because as you see, if I put it too low, then I'm getting too much height, and I'm hitting that. Like, you can put it low and still reach it, like this, but it's not ideal. You don't go as fast as you can, because you have to control your height. So what you want to do with this jump is you want a medium height. So you can actually see on here, there's a lot of markings on this pillar. What I recommend is putting it, you see you have these, there's a row of 3 just here, a row of 4. I put it like roughly here, so it's nice and easy to see. About there. That wasn't perfect, but you get the idea. Maybe a little bit lower. This is one of those things that I don't think about too much, so I think maybe like, yeah, just there, between the two that are just above the row of 4 that I've now beaten up so you can't actually see it anymore. But yeah, that's roughly where you want it. And anyway, so you're jumping just in front of it. And I'm going to go turn S-keys on. I forgot to turn my S-keys on, which I think is helpful for everyone. So just hold up 2 seconds. Config, S-keys, S-keys, S-keys. Oh, I can actually do it from in-game. Exec S-keys. SV allow wait command 1. Yeah, you need this bullshit. Okay, so exec S-keys. Okay, so now you can see what I'm pressing, and that's nice for everyone. Okay, so getting back on track. swiftly. Standard jump to the door. Oh, it's broken. Hang on, I forgot. Oh god! Bind F, exec, S keys. Yeah, this is all really annoying and fiddly. Okay, so I've got the S keys. So it's I'm just gonna say when I det now. So you can see like I'm jumping ahead of the sticky. I'm getting in line with it. I'm jumping as I'm in line with it, and then detting when I'm at my peak height. So I'm jumping and then detting. Yep, that's clear. I'll do it one more time just so it's really super clear. Sticky, jumping on it and detting when I'm at my full distance from the sticky before I start going down. Maybe a touch before that, maybe not. Okay, so for this jump, the complexity of this jump comes in the transition. The jump itself is relatively simple, but what makes you go fast is the transition. So you want to be landing and jumping instantly. Like you don't want to land. The sticky should be ready for as soon as you jump. So I'm landing and I jump again and the sticky's already ready for me. That's what makes this jump fast. And that's what makes it better than just going main and then going choke. It's the speed at which you transition between one jump to the next. So for example, if I go main and I land here, I then have to walk here and then whatever jumped here. So that's why it's fast to go top right rather than main. So yeah, I'll just show that in one smooth motion. So you can see there's no delay or anything like that. Can you hear this beeping? I don't know what's going on with my game. But that's kind of bizarre. Okay, and the third jump is pretty simple. Obviously, it's all about where you land from the second jump. You want to be hitting this jump properly. So you want to be getting right on top of the sticky so you get the full distance, you're landing on the door. And you want to be firing this sticky when you're already in midair so that it's ready for you. As soon as you land, you can just jump straight on it. That wasn't a perfect jump. You want to be aiming to land about here. And you don't want to be taking any full damage. And you'll be taking the medkit and you'll be on about 160 HP. And that varies. My config isn't ideal for this because you get a little bit more heals on this jump than you do others because of the little walk you do here. So you see I'm jumping on like 150 HP, something like that. So I'm actually landing a bit weaker than I should be. I'm 140 here, but I should have about 20 HP more than that if the medic's healing me properly. But I don't want to talk about this jump too much because this is how people have done this jump up till now. And like I was saying at the start, I've started doing this stuff differently. So right now, my default rollout is actually completely different to probably what you've seen before playing Gullywash. I actually do this kind of jump where I was going to find some open space to show this because it's some people get confused. Like some people know about this kind of jump and some people will just ask me, what the fuck did you just do? Basically it's a jump where you don't press jump at all. You're just literally crouching in front of the sticky and detonating. You go over the sticky, crouch, and you det, and it just propels you forward, so you're not pressing jump at all. And what this does is it gives you the momentum of a wall jump, because everyone knows that jumping off a wall is faster than jumping off the floor, simply because you don't have to go high, you can just go in a straight line. But what this floor jump does is it lets you do that, but without any vertical momentum. So this jump is used in a lot of different ways now. Like, there's a lot of different rollouts that you can change by doing this jump. Some people call it the Banny jump. It definitely existed before Banny, but it's kind of like the Banny HUD, aka the default HUD. But anyway, what this does actually, it lets you can use this both to go choke and to go main. I started off using it to go main, so what I do is standard jump to the door. I set the sticky up here, and then I go really fast to main. I do an extra jump here like so, and then you get your first sticky on their medkit before the demo's in choke. I forgot to mention earlier, the basic timing for choke, for taking this medkit, is 47. Or it's the 47-46 transition. So a decent rollout. It's kind of like Badlands. We talked about the medkit timing on Badlands. We talked about the medkit timing on Badlands last week. It's kind of the same timing actually. 46 is a good rollout, 47 is a really good rollout, and 45 is, you know, it will do. It's not terrible, but you're not going to be able to do much with 45. So 46 is what you aim for with this rollout if you're doing it standard. So just to show you again, just so with that in mind, you can watch what I'm doing with this jump. I'll explain more about the technicalities of this jump in a minute. So you can see that stick is already dead on him, and the second one's on him before he knows what's happened. I found doing this rollout, you can, if the demo doesn't expect you to do this, if it's the first time he's experiencing it, you will kill him. It's as simple as that. You will just kill the demo man if he doesn't know you're doing it. But even if he does expect you to do it, the best he can hope for is to damage you as much as you damage him and then fall back. But even though you're exchanging damage, he then has to fall back and he's stuck in choke basically. And so if you're running a strat where you come up right side and your team's there, he's then locked out of choke with no HP, there's no medkit for him, and he's out of the fight. So that's why I really like this map suddenly. Like, I like the mid fights on this map and I like the rollouts on it, because unlike Badlands, there are now rollouts that counter each other, and it makes for like really interesting mid fights, because I've been playing against Broder a lot. And maybe this is me thinking too much into it, but it seems like the way Rib plays his mids now is kind of, he's looking to avoid me. Like if I'm doing this fast rollout, he'll roll out this way. And if I'm rolling out choke, if I then switch to rollout choke, he might then start rolling out choke. So they just go the opposite side, because these rollouts are directly countering each other. So let's just go back to spawn and talk about the specifics of this jump in case you don't know much about it. Okay. So basically what I'm looking to do is crouch when I'm directly on top of the sticky. Like I start the crouch directly on top of it, and then what happens is I'm in this position when I det. I'm just in front of it crouched, but it's all one smooth motion. So the crouch begins when you're just on top of it, and you're detting when you're just in front of it. And you're not pressing jump at any point. Where's my Eskies? Where's my Eskies? Okay, Eskies is broken. Eskies is really broken. Let's fix Eskies. Okay. Right. Yeah, so you're detonating when you're just in front of it, and you begin the crouch motion when you're directly on top of the sticky or just in front of it. So here I'm doing a 90 degree turn, so it makes it a little bit more complicated than just doing it like standard. When it's a standard, just going straight forward, you crouch directly on top of it and det when you're just in front of it, and it's as simple as that. It takes some practice to get the feel for it, but once you have the feel for it, it's not as hard as some people seem to think. Like some people just drop their jaws the first time they see it and they don't understand it, but it's really quite simple. I don't understand the physics behind it because I'm not that kind of guy in TF2. I don't really know how the engine works or any of that kind of stuff, but I know that that's how the jump works. Okay, so with that in mind, I've told you how fast you can be with this rollout. You can get a sticky on the medkit for 46 or 47, depending on how well you do it, but there's also this second jump. What I'm doing with this second jump is I'm just getting the sticky like on the right side here, somewhere around there, it doesn't really matter, not too precise. And it's just a standard jump. You're jumping and you're crouching and you're detonating like a normal sticky jump, but the way you do this jump is you want to det really late. So you want to be really low down to the floor, and there's two reasons. One, like I just showed, you can catch that if you go high, and two, it gives you the best what's the word I'm looking for? The best horizontal momentum that you can hope for without doing this floor jump. You can't really do the floor jump here very well, at least I don't like it, because sometimes you catch that without really being able to help it, and also because it deals more damage to you doing the floor jump. So you don't really want to be doing two of those, because you do end up really low on HP that way. So yeah, that's how that jump works. But there's like an evolution of rollouts going on at the moment on Gullywash. That's why I say it's quite interesting, because what you can also do is you can do this same jump, but you can land up here. So yeah, I should back up a minute because I realized I didn't actually explain. The reason why this jump is so much faster than using this is because you're cutting out this walk time. Every now and then on a rollout, your pocket soldier will jump to the door, and with your jump you'll get really lucky and you'll go through the door and you'll land about here. And if that's the case, then you're really lucky and you can do this jump with pretty much the same speed. But that's pretty much impossible to train because your spawn is constantly changing and the pocket soldier isn't going to be opening the door at the right time and things like that. So it's not something that's reliable. So the reason this jump's so much faster is because you cut out this walking time. So yeah, so for a while now I've been doing this jump to big door. I've been beating the demo to choke, but there's actually an evolution of the choke rollout that's involved with this as well that will actually make the main rollout slightly less effective if anyone would start doing it. And basically you're doing the same style of jump, but you're getting to top. And I haven't perfected this one yet, I don't really do it, but this is something I want to show you guys because this is going to become the standard, I think, soon. This will be the way people do this rollout, so there you go. Haven't nailed this one completely, but as you can see I'm taking the kit on 47, and generally people will only take the kit on 46 here, and you will still take damage if someone does this fast big door rollout. You are still going to take damage from them, and that's a fact, but you're that much faster that you can catch them first. Like you can catch them as they walk through there rather than catching them here. Like when I take this exchange with the demo on choke and I walk through here, I'm generally taking damage like when I'm here, but if you're getting that sticky on them early, then it completely changes the fight. So yeah, let's just back up because there is a difference in how you do this jump. So I'm just getting PM'd. and I don't really, it makes me nervous because I think maybe the stream's broken and I'm being spammed urgently. Right, so yeah, you do this jump a little bit differently, because what you want with this jump, going to top right, rather than going to main, is you want that extra bit of height. And so the way you get that height is you have to be more on top of your sticky than when you're going main. So I said when you're going main, you crouch on top of the sticky and you det when you're just in front of it. The same rough principle applies, but you want to shift it like just a little bit over to the right. So now I'm crouching just behind the sticky, and I'm still detting it when I'm just ahead of it, but I'm ever so slightly on top of it. So rather than being here, or wherever, like this is a rough guesstimation. So rather than being here when you det, you're then here when you det. So I'll just show you the difference if I don't mess it up. Okay, so first main, I'm directly in line and going main, and this time I'm going to go top right, hopefully. So I'm starting just to the right of it. Yeah, that's a bit of a fuck up. Like I say, I haven't actually perfected this jump yet, but it's weird timing that I'm doing this rollout tutorial, because within a week or so, this will be like, every time I go choke, this will be how I do it. If you want to see it properly, like if you want to, I can look at the demo just to kind of show you what I'm on about. But yeah, as you can see here, this is a high 47, so that's like a really nice rollout. Okay? So, those are the basic explanations of the rollouts. I hope that this has been, like, you can understand what I'm talking about with these rollouts. But if not, there will be like a question and answer segment at the end, and if there's something that I haven't explained very thoroughly, something that you don't understand properly, then feel free to ask. But don't write in now, because I'm not paying any attention to chat, and neither are my chat monkeys. They're going to check out the chat like from half past or whenever I finish this first segment. We're actually way ahead of schedule, which makes me nervous that I've rushed over things. But we still have things to discuss, because I said I'm going to tell you when you should do the rollout, and also what you can do with the rollout. So, if you're doing the choke, let's start with choke. If you're doing the choke rollout, either standard or fast, basically what you can expect to do over the average demo man is, as you come through choke, your first sticky should connect. As you det there, your first det, that should be on the demo man, and you should also catch the scout with that first sticky. That's the basic expectation on this rollout. So you're landing on the kit, firing it instantly. That one's not charged properly because I didn't actually do the rollout. But then you catch them both. The second sticky, you have options. You can either refocus the demo because you have like much better position, or you can start targeting the scouts. And I'm not going to talk too much about it, but what I like to do personally, this is down to preference, like different demo man like to do different things. It's like there's 3 stickies, and I base my mid-fight based on these 3 stickies. So if the first one connects, nice, with the demo and scout, and the second one goes on the demo, and then I get the third one on the scout going there, then I'll stand here and I'll stay fighting. I won't next stickies to deny big door for the combo. But if I don't get proper connections with those stickies, then I'm falling back and reloading here. Because basically, if I've done that early damage, then I can call for my team to come and support me instantly, and I can keep putting the pressure on, and maybe take like a really, really clean win at the mid. But if I don't hit that damage, then there's no real early advantage for my team to work off of, so I need to be like more conservative, wait for them and reload. So that's choke, and that's what you can do with choke. But obviously, if the enemy demo man is doing the rollout I just described, which I hope that people will start doing this, because in my experience it is very, very effective, and it will obliterate anything but a perfect choke rollout. Like there's no point going choke if the enemy demo man is doing this sort of rollout. So you shouldn't go choke when the enemy demo man does this rollout, but when you're doing this rollout, basically what the expectation is you put the first sticky on choke, and the way you line that up is you see this little nubbin here on the fence. As you walk through the middle of main, that nubbin is basically lining you up directly with choke. Yeah, if I can just show you. See what I mean? As you're walking through just to the left of main, actually as it is, because I guess yeah, you're walking up here. As you're walking through here, that nubbin lines you up with choke. So you're just basically looking to put a very much charged sticky over that nubbin. Nubbin. And that lines you up perfectly with the choke. So basically, you have this charging as you're walking through here. You got the first one on choke already. I generally blind det that one on 46, and then as I'm walking in, I have the next one charged to go on him instantly. So if he's walked in, he's already weak, and I can kill him. And if he hasn't walked in, then I just lock the choke down. And I call for my players, like, Demo's locked out in choke, someone, you know, give him half your attention. And then I begin using the fact there's no demo man to take more ground and damage the scouts, deny them presence on the point. But this is where it becomes a bit more theoretical, because I'm kind of talking of advancing the metagame on this mid a little bit. So it's a bit weird because we're talking theoretically. But theoretically, as a demo man fighting against the fast rollout to main, you have two choices. You can either just do a standard rollout to main, and then you can just go up right side and completely avoid this contestation. Like, if the enemy demo man is beating you in that fight, you should just basically, that's when you start going this basic rollout. If you're not comfortable going fast here yourself, then you should start doing this main rollout and just completely ignoring that side of the fight and going up right. And you should really tell your scouts not to go there either, because there's going to be no contest on that side. The demo man will just take that side for free. So you basically want to take, all you can do is mirror it. If you can't beat the demo man there, then all you can do is mirror it and come this side. But what I think can happen now, if anyone is keen enough to actually get it going, is you can do this rollout. If I hadn't fucked it up. And it actually gives you the possibility to contest this fight here. And basically you can then play it a bit like the standard choke fight that I talked about a minute ago, where your stickies are going here, except the early stickies you have to change them. Like, you have to kind of read the enemy demo man, like, is he going to come here? And if you've just suddenly switched to doing this rollout, say he's been comfortable walking up here for the last 2 rounds, and he's got the impression that he can walk up here for free, then what I would do is, rather than putting my stickies on big door, just expect him fast, delay them a little bit, and put them just straight in there, and catch him out there. That's kind of how I approach these fights at the moment with Broder, because Broder are the only real team I've played since I started doing these rollouts. So that's how I'm basing this anyway. Yeah, I covered this a little bit faster than I thought. So yeah, that only took 20 minutes. I thought it would take a little bit longer than that. I thought we'd be here for about half an hour talking about this stuff. So yeah, we're gonna move on. I was gonna check that my chat monkeys are ready. Yo. So yeah, I see fire in the chat. So if you want to ask any questions about this, then now is the time. I'm not gonna start looking at demos just yet. As in demos from viewers who've sent them to me. I have a couple, not as many as I'd like. So if maybe you have one for some reason you didn't send it, you can send it now. I can pretty much guarantee I'll look at it. If not, then help me out next week and actually send me some, because I think it's very helpful that I can look at other people's rollouts, because I might be repeating myself a bit, but it's easier for me to explain it if I have some examples of like the kind of mistakes that people are making. Anyway, I'm gonna go find one of these demos. Well, hopefully someone will ask a question, otherwise this is gonna be incredibly short. While we're in this little break, I'm just going to tell you that my main motivation for doing this, well, there are two. The first is that I just want to help people out. I want to make these mid-fights interesting again, because in the last year or so, I feel like the better my rollouts have become, the less interesting mid-fights have been. And the metagame shifted from what used to be this really fun, interesting Demoman battle, has shifted to what I talked about, where the fucking demo man just goes the opposite side because his rollouts are inferior, basically. I don't want to be arrogant, but this is literally my experience. This is literally my experience of the fights lately. So yeah, I would like to see a shift back to this emphasis on the demo man, on the mid fights, on the importance of rollouts, because it's true, like Numlock shows that you don't need to be fast and mid and you can still boss the mid fight, but ultimately I think everyone should have all the tools in their arsenal. Because the way it used to be is, yeah. But anyway, the other motivation is I'm trying to raise money, actually. This is where I do this little plug, basically. I have a donation fund going. I want to be able to stream more than just these tutorial sessions and some random aids pickups and stuff like that. I want to be able to stream with Zabatsu. And basically, whenever I'm playing TF2, I'd like to be able to stream it. But at the moment, I can't do that because my PC just isn't good enough. So this donation drive is basically my motivation to finally do this rollout workshop. I wanted to do it for a long time, but I'm not a very proactive person. So yeah, it's not a case of if I don't get any money I'm going to stop doing them, but people are donating and it's a nice way for me to give back to people that are donating and also encourage others. So yeah, that's my plug. I'm not going to talk about that shit anymore. I'm going to get these demos and we're going to move on. And we're going to look at people's rollouts. It'll be interesting to see exactly how I'm going to critique these, because obviously I've talked about kind of advancing people's rollouts. It might be that people have sent me demos of doing rollouts completely differently. Yeah, but I'm just gonna go to my Twitch messages and find them real quick. If this one turns into a really short one, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna talk about Viaduct as well, because I'm getting the impression this might be a really short one, and because Viaduct is a really basic map regarding rollouts. Like there are no rollouts for Viaduct basically. Oh, my computer is being AIDS. I can't get into my Twitch messages. This is bad. What is going on? What is going on? My internet even working? I hope my internet's working. Shit. I'm really. Can someone write something in chat? Like no one's written anything in chat for like 15 minutes, and now my web pages are loading. Can someone just confirm to me that I haven't been talking to myself for the last 20 minutes? For the love of God. That's cool. I don't mind if the chat's dead. That's no problem for me. I hope everyone's just so infatuated by the words I'm saying that they don't want to write anything in chat. A lot of people don't have working Twitch chats because Twitch had maintenance and shit. Well, that's AIDS. I wish someone had told me. That's really gay. I didn't realise that. I might have postponed if I realised that was the case. But yeah, I'm guessing Twitch really has a fucking maintenance because I can't even get my messages. But luckily, my boy, whose name I can't say, Iridescent Fuzz from Asia Fortress, pretty sure he's from the lovely subcontinent of India, has sent me a demo via Steam, so we're going to look at that one first since I can actually get my fucking hands on it. Dun 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 dun. Wow, chat's mega dead. I feel so alone at the moment in the world, man. Alright, so let's go check this shit out. Let's check out how broken my Control C is as well. Computers are gay. Control C. Control C. There we go. Control V. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, I forgot to set my comment to read only. This is going to be AIDS. Right, so it's a 3-minute demo. I'm not sure if it's at the start or... Right. I'm just going to watch it once through first. So he's on the door. Okay, so he's doing the rollout I was talking about. That's nice to see. Like, that's helpful for me because I can actually help. Alright, I'm guessing this is a false start because he's stopped moving. So we'll have a look. We'll have a look through the demo and see which one I like. So if he's going to do this fast rollout for a start, what I'm noticing, which is something I'm guessing isn't a mistake, and it's actually how he does it, is the sticky's going quite far away from the door. Like the best part about this rollout is you're cutting out the walking time. Actually, yeah, someone's just mentioned me a good idea. If you wanna ask questions and your chat's broken, like I honestly didn't realize chat was broken until just now. I didn't realize it was broken for so many people. So I'm on an ISE channel that is called Kaidus Rollouts. So if you're desperate to get something asked, or you just want to like contribute, you know, talk some shit, call me trash, or tell me Numlock blow his dick or something like that, whatever, then that's Kaidus Rollouts on QuakeNet. So if you want to join that and just talk some bullshit to me, then that's fine. Yep, it's definitely in the name. I'm definitely retarded. Thanks everyone for letting me know on Steam that it's in the fucking name of the demo, the ticks I'm supposed to go to. Let's go, team! That's hashtag Kaidus Rollouts, by the way. I see a couple guys joining, but yeah. Okay, so let's check out this rollout. Oh, the demo's crashed! I fucking hate TF2! Wait, it's not crashed. Okay, what have we got? What's he got for me? Okay, first problem. The way I like to do this is I think I use like the 1 square rule, something I've just coined right now in this very second. You can see you have these squares on Gullywash, on the floor, the tiling. Where's my mouse cursor? Oh, I fucking need my mouse cursor to come on the screen. Okay, so yeah. So here, behind the demo UI, that's like 1 square, and that's like where I recommend you put the sticky if you reach the door. Like, walking to that extra square, it's still faster, I think, than using the beam to do the jump, but Yeah, it's unnecessary time. Like, plus, I think it's actually easier to do it from the front square because you can properly lock down in your head like a routine of how you're timing your movement with your mouse, like how you're timing your keyboard with your mouse. Because it's such a short distance to travel, you pretty much begin this 90-degree motion instantly. I mean, you might even put it a little bit closer than that, but I think 1 square is really the maximum you should go for doing this jump. But anyway, let's take a look. Okay, so he's done the jump. It's not optimized though, but it's decent. He's got there. And this second jump, that second jump is fine. And he's even going for the superhero rollout. That's interesting. The third jump is interesting. It's a big gamble though. It's a really big gamble because the reason I don't like this third jump is a smart demo man, if he sees these stickies on choke, what a smart demo man does basically is if he gets this first sticky on choke, then he will, if he understands the rollout and the way it works and he knows what's capable of the various rollouts, he'll either take that one sticky and then just stay on choke, or he will just see the sticky instantly or hear the sticky and he won't even contest. So what you basically have is a demo man who's going to get a big medkit. Like one way or another he's getting that big medkit, and here you are with 76 HP and that's the maximum you're getting to your medic arrives. So while you are locking the demo man out, I'm not sure I like how weak you end up doing this rollout. So that's personally why I don't like to do that. That's my personal reasons. But I'm just going to look at the jumps. Like that third jump, if you choose to do it, that's your decision. Personally, I don't like it, but the third jump was absolutely fine. So we're going to go backtrack a little bit and look at the specific jumps and the specific jumps that I've talked about and the ones that I feel confident in giving you advice on. So we talked about the positioning for the first sticky. We talked about that, the positioning. So I'm not going to mention that again. What I am going to mention is, okay, I am going to mention this positioning of the sticky. It's much easier if you put the sticky directly in front of you. Like, put yourself square onto the wall, so you're facing the wall, and then put the sticky directly in front of you, so you're walking in a straight line into it. It makes this jump 10 times easier. 10 times easier. So that's what I recommend, basically. So you are going to walk in a straight line towards it. For my taste, you're too far in front of the sticky when you begin your crouch motion, so you're ever so slightly too far. You should be like, when you begin the crouch motion, you should be pretty much bang on top of the sticky, so that your crouch then finishes you up just in front. What I get the impression you're doing here is you're feeling it in your, like, your instinct is telling you you're too far from the sticky, so what you're doing is you're detonating the sticky just a fraction of a second too early, and I think that problem will fix itself, because that's an instinct. I feel like that's an instinct, like you understand the physics in TF2 and you feel like, whoa, I'm going to be too far away from this and it's not going to give me the proper propulsion, so you're detting a little bit early. It's achieving the jump, but it's not achieving the jump anywhere near its max potential. So yeah, my recommendation for that first jump is that you have to start directly on top of the sticky. I'm just going to back it up just so you can see what I mean now that I've given you the explanation, because it's always easier to watch it back once you've had the explanation. Here goes. Yeah, like it works, but you're just ever so slightly too far in front, and you're not getting the full blast. So that's what I'd focus on for that jump. This jump is okay. It's okay. Personally, I like to put the sticky a little bit further away from the wall, because what that means is it means you don't have to strafe around the wall. You can just jump on top of the sticky, turn your body 90 degrees, and you're flying. What you're doing is you're jumping. You're jumping and then turning around the wall and then detting, whereas I'm using the propulsion of the sticky, that little bit of ground that you're covering with the strafe, I'm using the propulsion of the sticky to tame that ground. So that's just a little bit of ground that I'm saving. Yeah, and you see also, I didn't notice that before with the first jump, you're not starting off at a perfect angle, you're going off slightly too far to the right, which means you're doing a bigger arc in the air, a bigger strafe, which means you're not getting directly to the door. I mean, it works, it functions with the way you're doing the jump at the moment because you aren't getting the full speed. But if you had the full speed and you took that arc, then it's a waste of time essentially. And also you're getting a little bit too much height. I mean, the arc works because with that height you need the extra time to drop. But if you do the jump perfect, you don't need any extra like room to drop because you're already at the right height pretty much. So yeah, so you see you're strafing just there, that's what I'm talking about, that little strafe just around the corner, and then you're detting. I mean, we're talking fractions of seconds here, but at the end of the day, if everyone knows their rollouts really well, it's this kind of little thing that's going to make the difference. Yeah, so you see, you're here on 46. So this is actually, I guess this is a tiny bit faster than mine, but you're so much weaker that's why I don't like it. You can get here almost the same time if you do the jumps perfectly. You can still deny a choke rollout. Yeah. So that's my advice on that one. So 12,000 is the other one. Let's take a look at the other rollout on this video. I'm just going to quickly pause it and tab out and check there's nothing. Numlock blows dick like it's his birthday and they use dicks instead of candles. Wow, I didn't realise there were so many technical difficulties with Twitch today, guys. I'm really sorry about that. There will be a VOD of this, so if you're having any problems, then that's fine. Maybe I'll have an extra segment of my next one where I can, if anyone had some questions about Gullywash they couldn't answer because they're not an ISC user, couldn't ask because they're not an ISC user, then that's fine. We can check those out next time. Okay, so I'm guessing this is... Are we doing the same one? No, this is a choke rollout. Okay, first mistake. Oh wait, no, we're going again. Okay. Okay, 2 mistakes already. I'm actually gonna back it up just so I can tell you about them straight away. In fact, no, I'll watch the whole demo first. I'll watch the whole one first, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, so all of these jumps are just flawed ever so slightly. None of them are particularly wrong, but it's a 945. It's close to 946, so it's not dire. You have the rollout down, but there are some fixes on pretty much every aspect of the jump. There is a slight mistake, and this is what I'm talking about. You see, like, this is why I always bring up these really slight mistakes, because they don't seem costly in and of themselves, but then they stack up. Like, there was 5 tiny mistakes there, 4 or 5 tiny mistakes, and what they've done is they've ended up costing you a second. And a second is equivalent to a sticky, so you know it's a big deal. 1 second is a big deal on rollouts. So the first mistake is you should put the sticky on the wall when you're here. It's as simple as that. It makes it much easier. You're doing nothing in this time. You're just waiting for the clock to hit 9:55. So what I do is I set the sticky up now so that I get it perfect. Whereas what you're doing is you're setting up here, and then you have to then wait for it to det, and you're doing the jump ever so slightly later than you otherwise would. And also, more noticeably, is the sticky placement. The sticky placement isn't good. You don't get the full projection from the sticky when you're making it, but you're not traveling as fast in the air as you could be. And the best way to go about fixing that is to put the sticky low down. Okay, so that's about... And I'm going to try and use a demo UI to show you this so I can use my mouse cursor. So you've put the sticky here. These are the 4 nubbins that I talked about. I'm really using that word today, nubbins. Yeah, and I recommend basically using the mark just above that nubbin, just above the mark that's above the row. So that's the mark, and that's in between. So you want it in between these 2 marks. That's like, it doesn't have to be spot on with that. Like, there is some flexibility. It doesn't have to be 100% precise, but that's a pretty good guideline, I think, what I've told you there. I think that's a pretty good guideline. So this works, you're there, but the sticky isn't set up for you. You're not ready to jump as soon as you land. You're planting the sticky as you land, which means your motion isn't particularly affected by it, but you're detonating later than you have to be otherwise. Like, it's only a fraction that you're losing here, but if you're shooting a sticky like while you're still in the air, then you will save that fraction of a second. So there's no mechanical mistake with the jumps here. Like, all these jumps are absolutely fine. It's just the timing of this. It's mainly the timing. All 3 jumps actually is affected by this. You're not laying the stickies early enough. So here again, if you shot that sticky while you were in the air, the sticky would be ready for you on the ground, like around here, where my mouse cursor is on the door frame. But as you didn't shoot the sticky in the air, you're then shooting it as you're landing, so you then have to waste that extra little half a second walking to the sticky just outside the door. And it's like, you're covering the same ground, you'd be jumping through this ground anyway, but I'm always talking about this, how walking is a huge no-no in rollouts. You absolutely want to minimize the time you spend walking, and you're adding an extra half second of walking there. And that's the biggest problem with your rollout here, is you're not placing the stickies fast enough. So yeah, I hope that was helpful with Decent Fuzz. I hope you understand what I'm talking about. If not, then since you have me on Steam, you can message me on Steam if you're not an IRC user, since chat is fucked. But yeah, I'm just gonna... Twitch doesn't want to load the stream. Yeah, Twitch is AIDS. We all hate fucking Twitch. I hate Twitch so much. It happens. Like, I cancelled it once before. Like, the very first one I cancelled because of Twitch. I wish it'd send me an email or something, Twitch, goddamn. Oh, big Thalash with a donation. That's so kind of you, Thalash, thank you. Yeah, so I actually can't get in my Twitch messages right now, so that's kind of AIDS. But I did download one the other day, I think. Ah, fuck me, I didn't download it. Oh, okay, my inbox is loaded. I'm into my Twitch inbox. So I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this guys, I can read everyone in IRC just telling me how it's not loading for them. Is there any food drink that can help you with a rollout? What? I guess energy drink. It gives you more energy, more focus. You know, gives you wings. Wings are always helpful on a rollout. Some nice Red Bull. Don't know. But yeah, my inbox loaded. Now I actually need to get in. Yes, okay, I'm in. I have one more demo. We're gonna talk about this one demo, and then we're just gonna kill ourselves for the day, guys, because for the 2 out of 3 times that I've tried to do this, Twitch has just completely screwed me over. Completely fucked me in the dick, basically. No other way of expressing my feelings other than that. So let's download this demo, and we'll cut it short for today. And I'll add another segment next time. Just before I talk about other maps, I'll add another segment where I take any questions. Maybe I'll even look at a demo of Gullywash. Oh fucking hell! I hate computers, man. Yeah, I'll add a little segment where I look at last week's stuff, like a recap, because obviously I think a lot of people have missed out that really wanted to watch this. I feel bad about that. Hopefully the VOD is unaffected, but obviously people can't ask their questions or anything like that when the VOD is from a VOD. So if there's any questions about Gullywash, I will take those next week. Okay, so here's his rollout. That's not a great jump to the spawn door. He's got extra walking time. Sticky's placed quite late. It's a bit high, but he's making it work. Again, all these mistakes are almost identical. This isn't bad, like it's just a 945. This could be Iridescent Fuzz's demo. Like it really could. It's so similar, it's startling. Which is good actually, because it means that a lot of people, hopefully a lot of people, are making these same mistakes, and they're all going to benefit from the things I'm talking about. Okay, so I've already said most of the stuff actually, but we will talk about it again. What the hell is going on? Was it like this last time? Okay, yeah, it was finally. Too fast. Okay, so spawn jump, not good. Not good, not good, not good. Ah, fuck me. Yeah, well, you can see that for yourselves. He didn't get anywhere near. You want to get to the opposite side of the door, basically. Not so far that you have to walk around the door frame, but obviously there's a whole, like the whole width of the spawn door. You then have to walk, which you don't want to do. Sticky placement is fractionally too high for my taste. Like it works. I don't think he's losing that much speed here. He's making that high jump work. I think that's working for him. So I'm not going to critique that too much. But I think the way I recommend to do it, it's a lot cleaner. Like this, I feel like that requires modifications to like your natural jumping, the natural method of jumping, putting the sticky that high. I think he's making it work though, probably losing a tiny bit of speed, but only fractionally. But again, sticky isn't ready, he can't jump as soon as he lands, he has to take a few steps and then jump, so the sticky's ready, which is fine. The jump to the door is fine, but again, the sticky's not ready for him. Sticky isn't ready for him, so he has to walk out of the door and on top of the sticky. And this is a mistake that I even make sometimes, like watching this jump. He doesn't do it to quite the extent Iridescent Fuzz did it, but this guy, like their rollouts are almost exactly the same time, but they're making different mistakes, well the same mistakes but to different degrees. So this guy, his spawn jump is actually what lost him the most time. He didn't get himself all the way to the edge of the door, so he lost himself half a second, 3/4 of a second of extra walking time. Yeah. And yeah, the third jump, like the actual technique of the third jump is fine. Like there's not really that much to that jump, it's a standard, you're jumping across a yard. But you can see that he takes the kit on 945. And it's mainly because of that spawn jump. So, yeah, we'll just watch that through once more smoothly, just so you can kind of see everything I just talked about in effect. I'm going to preserve my voice and not talk about it as I watch it. Oh, it's so hot. It's really, really hot. It's really, really, really hot. Okay, I think this might be broken. Oh no. Seems like it's hanging in there. Right, it shouldn't be taking this long. Okay, here we are. So yeah, I'm just going to play it at normal speed. I'm just going to watch it. So he dead. Just out of interest, he dead too late for that spawn jump. So too much walking again. Too much walking. And it's all these little bits of walking. It really is the difference. Like, it really does make the difference. And also, just out of interest, I don't know if that's how he would normally shoot that sticky, but really he's shooting that sticky too late. Like, you're not going to catch people in big door with that probably. You want to make sure that sticky's primed. Like, as soon as you do the second jump, you want to almost start charging. It's the second jump? The third jump, sorry. When you do that third jump, you want to start charging the sticky almost instantly. Like, pretty much instantly. Not sure. It's kind of one of those things I do on instinct. Yeah. Recent donor buy shit. Okay, guys. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up for today. I'm really sorry if maybe like I'm reading an IRC. Some people have only just been able to tune in because Twitch has been Twitch basically. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, those of you that did. I'm sorry that we couldn't make this a bit more interactive today. Really nothing I can do about it when Twitch messes up like that. What I will do is next time, the very first thing I will do is I'll just see if there's any questions on Gullywash. In fact, maybe I won't do that. We'll see how it goes. If I'm streaming during the week, then you can tune into that and talk to me about it then. But if I don't stream during the week, then that's what we'll do. But yeah, I'm pretty much done for today. I'm just gonna check out. Yeah. So yeah, this is my Gullywash rollout. Next week, I don't know what map we're gonna do next week. I've been thinking about it. It's either gonna be Snake or Process. I think we're going to do Snake. I think we'll do Snake next week. In fact, no, I'll tell you what we'll do. Next week is going to be Snakewater and Process. Because Process doesn't really have a rollout, but there is a couple of cool things that you can do that people probably aren't aware of. So we'll spend 10 minutes talking about Process. Not going to look at demos, not going to really do anything like that, because I feel like Process isn't really a map where rollouts matter particularly. Like, it's like most of the rollouts are one jump because of the medkit placement. Like, you do one jump and then you're at a medkit, and you don't really want to do another jump because of HP reasons, just because of the way the map is. Yeah, so that's it for this week. I'm going to keep streaming for a little bit and play some video games maybe.